Hello, and welcome to preparing year-end payroll tax form e-filing from Capital Business Solution. My name is June Groh, and I'm going to go ahead and start today with processing a W-2. So in order to process W-2, you should be on version 16.1. or later to process your tax form. Due to the program changes, it is not possible to e-file or print final copy of your tax form unless you are on version 16.1.1. So make sure that you're upgrading your system. I believe the new version of the 16.1.1 was available in late December. So hopefully everybody has an opportunity to upgrade your system. And also keep in mind that all printing and filing of a W-2 is done in the MIT Fund Accounting and is done through the Atrix. And I have listed a couple of the W-2 form information that you need to make it available. So again, though, is that in W-2, you need to get an employee copy of your W-2 should be printed on blank form, the perforated paper, and the state copy, if any, should be printed on blank W-4 or part of the perforated paper again. So here's a listing of the different papers available. So I'll make this PowerPoint presentation available to you so you can have this information. And also the Affordable Care Act 1095-4C is done in a separate process. However, there is no 1095-C component on the W-2s. So keep in mind though is that Atrix you can do W-2s, but also on the Atrix also have a filing combo for the 1095-C as well. So this is a quick walkthrough of the 2015 W-2 process. So if you have any questions or problems, please contact Capital Business Solution for additional services. So step one you want to do is to select the forms. So by going to go to Activities, Tax Reporting, Tax Form, and E-Filing by Atrix. Then you want to go ahead and it's going to launch the Atrix Wizard. So what you want to do is select your form type as a federal and make sure you select your form 2015 W-2 W-3. And if your form update is highlighted or an icon is available, make sure you click on that so you can get the latest forms available to you. And make sure you click on year 2015 because you're doing 2015 W-2s. And step two is that you want to make sure that, or you can test drive or you can do an actual filing. Now, for me, I would go ahead and usually kind of do a test drive first, make sure that everything looks okay. Again, it's just a process that I would normally go through. But if you feel comfortable and that all your numbers are correct, then just go and say no thanks and start processing my W-2s and my W-3s. And step three, you want to confirm your company information. Again, this information is available under the organization information. But if you have to type it in, my suggestion to you is go to the organization information and go ahead and update your organization information with your federal tax ID number and your company name, your address, city, and phone numbers. So again, my thought process behind that is it's always nice to have that information from the source. And step four, you want to go and confirm your state and your local numbers. So again, this information is coming from my organization under the state taxes. So I went ahead and put those tax numbers in. So that's pretty much what the system is looking for that. And then step five, you want to go and do a data verification. So what you want to do is you want to say, hey, do you have any employee who are exempt from any part of the Medicare or Social Security tax? You can simply say yes or no. Do you have any employee who earn Social Security tips that must be reported? Yes or no. Do you want to use control number on your W-2s? You can simply say yes or no. Do you have any employee who elected only receive W-2 form electronically? Answer again, yes or no. So this step, gives you the information is correct, and also this make sure that gives you a most efficient way of MIP to verify your data. And the next step is that W-3 information. So you will be prompted to enter information that goes on your W-3. Some of this information may already be in the system from the value entered in the organization information under the electronic filing. However, if you didn't, you can also go ahead and manually put that information in. In most cases, I have worked with the client is that 941 and kind of employers usually fall under the 501c3 organization. And the next step, 7, is that system's going to ask you, saying, do you have a multiple payroll data? Use only if you have a multiple database with the same federal employee ID number. In most cases, I have worked with a client that's pretty much the answer would be no. But if you do, you have the option to say, yes, I use multiple payroll data file for my employee ID number. So again, in most cases, for a lot of you may apply, that'd be no. So once you go through the wizard and prepare the grid, the system will kind of gives you the value to pull up, and you make the verification grid. And that matches the value that you run in your payroll tax history. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily mean your earnings history. Is basically your tax history that you run your report on your W-2, on the W calculation. So as you go through, you want to click on the next step icon, and what it does is that if you see any error in your system, it will be highlighted in red. Now keep in mind though, is that error should be corrected before you continue on. And now error can be either corrected here on the W-2 process, or you can do is go to MIP and make that correction, say for example using a setup and adjust employee balances. And you can start over, or you can just type it directly into the grid that I'm showing you here. So as you see in my example here, I went ahead and made an error on the Social Security number. So you can simply go ahead and put the numbers, another additional number there to make that correction. Once that information is done, go ahead and click on next step, and then just keep on the next step. So the wizard will walk you through to make sure all your data is verified and it's correct. Once again, if there's any error in the system, you want to make that correction. And the step 9, you want to select your printing filing options. So again, Atrix gives you an opportunity to either print it on a paper copy, or you can complete W e-file services. Again, there is a fee involved. So in my particular case, this is my fee that I have in my screen. But your fee may be different because different on the number of employees you have. So there's a different various factor that goes into play. But in my case, I went ahead and decided to print on a paper copy or electronic copy. So once you go through that wizard on the step 10, you'll be going to the print the W-2s. So again, that step brings up the form viewer. This is where you can review and print your W-2s. And basically what this gives you an opportunity to view the form, and that's what actually is going to print. And what you want to do is you're going to go ahead on the step 1, saying what page you're in. And 2, again, in my PowerPoint, I kind of put numbers in there, print copy. Then once you're done, you want to go ahead and do a step 3, or the step 3 of this here, so next step. So it gives you a next step that's going to take you to what forms you want to print. So go through all the necessary steps that you want. And if you wish to print to a PDF, again, though, you can have as long as you have a PDF form, or there's a program out there, instead of doing a print driver, it's a PDF driver. So then the system will create that PDF for you. Just another note that you can also print to it as an Excel point, I believe in the print driver, to the Microsoft XPS file. So you can do that too also. Again, gives you a copy of electronically. And also the last step, again, this is optional. If you have selected an e-filing option, you can log in to complete your e-filing. The first time users should create a new e-file account, and you can go through this either through the activities, tax reporting, filing, and electronic payment by Atrix, or you can go to the website at https://efile.atrix.com. Now, if you're uncertain about the origin of the value that has been pulled from the Atrix grid, you can use these values by running your W-2 information. To do that, you must go into, again, to do that, you make sure you have a latest version of 2016.1 or later. And you want to go to the Payroll, Reports, Payroll Tax Worksheet, Calculate W-2 Information, select All Employee for this tax year, and click on Start to Calculate. Then after the calculation is done, go to the Payroll, Reports, Payroll Tax Worksheet, W-2 Information, select the W-2 box information. Now keep in mind though, this is a standard report that MIP comes with it. Now you can go to Filter tab and put your W-2 year equals to 2015. Now, once you do that, give it a name in the report. Maybe call it employee ID or employee ID 20 W-2s, something like that. And you can go ahead and print this to a screen, and that gives you information on what the W-2s and then what the matrix is pulling from. Again, keep in mind that information is all there. So, and if you see there is an error, again, you can simply go to set up an employee, adjust employee balances, and make any necessary change as you see fit. Okay, I am now moving on to 2015 matrix 1099 filing information. Again, keep in mind though is that you need to have the latest version of the MIP. Also, non-federal 1099 copies can be printed on plain paper and a plain 4-part preferred paper. Okay, so but the federal 1099 requires a pre-printed form. So again, I have a list of copies or information available to you. Again, that's available in your PowerPoint presentation. One of the information that I got from the Abila is that once you upgrade the system and go forward, the 2014 1099s cannot be easily reprinted after the update. So you want to keep in mind, maybe you want to go ahead and print your 2014 and make it an electronic copy in case you need it. So, and also it's a good idea to print your 1099 to a file, electronic file, for example. So whether it be a PDF or a Microsoft XPS. Okay? Because once you have that information printed, then if you need to reprint, well, you have a file readily available. So, and this makes it really easy for you down the road. Okay, just like processing the W-2s, we want to go ahead and process 1099. To do that, you want to go to Activities, Accounts Payable, Produce Vendor 1099s. Then you want to go ahead and select Form Type New, select Form 2015 1099 Miscellaneous, and make sure you enter 2015 in your year. Because again, after all, we are doing it for 2015. And once again, click on the Form Update button if it's available, so you can get the latest forms and updates available to your system. So again, on step 2, you want to confirm your company information. So again, that information is coming from the organization information. It gives your tax ID number and your company information, address, city, and the phone numbers, and the state and zip. And this also step 3. As you go to the wizard, you just want to click on next, and you want to confirm your state and your local number. Any electronic disbursement of 1099 option, if you're using a complete e-filing option and want to have vendors that only receive 1099 electronically, but keep in mind though, this is not the same as an e-filing, okay? So again, the system gives you data verification. So you want to answer yes or no to those 2 questions that a wizard is asking you. And then step 5, you have an option to truncate your recipient copy. So basically you want to mask out your information, again being tax employee ID number being sensitivity. So you have an option to say, hey, do not truncate my information. You can truncate with the asterisks, an example like asterisk, 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 or you can truncate with the X's. And the system also asks you, would you like to print RIN on receipt copy that is reported as 0? So you can say yes, or you can say no. So that's totally up to you. Now, unless you're filing for your multiple database with the same EIN, choose no. So again, the system gives you, you can produce 1099 with the multiple database. Again, most of you probably not, you'd be multiple database, so I would say simply say no. Now, once you go through the matrix wizard, again in the step 7, the system comes through, hey, verify your data. To verify all your vendor information is correct, and the value should match the total of your tax journal and your vendor adjustment report. And you want to click next step. Now, I had kind of put a little arrow to it, so you can go through the verification wizard. If the error occur at this stage, do not ignore them. Please make a necessary correction. Now, you can do a correction on this grid itself, or you can exit out and go back to under the vendor and do the vendor information and go ahead and 1099 information, and maybe you want to make a 1099 adjustment for that year. So you can do that, or you can just simply make the fixes here. So that's totally option that you have. And step 8, then you want to go and select your printing filing options. Again, do you want to print on a 1099 e-filing services? Again, there's additional charge for doing those, or you can just do it on the paper. That's totally up to you. So, and then step 9, print your 2015 Atrix 1099s. This will initiate the printing step in the form viewer. From the form viewer, you can review the individual vendor's form before printing, or print the form in a final format. And the next step button will take you to the next set of the forms to be reviewed and printed. So again, just like we did on the W-2s, you kind of go to the print final, next step, print final, next step, and so forth and so on. And if you decide to also, hey, I want to file this electronically by using e-file, this is totally optional. So if you have selected the e-filing option, you will log into and complete your e-filing. Once again, if it's a first-time user, you should go ahead and open up an account with the Atrix, and then you can go down to a particular